The Institute for Priestly Formation, located in Omaha, Nebraska, in partnership with Spirit Catholic Radio, is pleased to present the Lenten Reflection Series, The Journey to Jerusalem. Join Father Mark Toups as he helps us walk with Jesus on his journey to Jerusalem.
Tuesday of Holy Week.
My brothers and sisters, welcome back to the Journey to Jerusalem as we find ourselves inching into Holy Week, and we find ourselves already in the beauty of Jerusalem. In John chapter 12, we find that Greek converts approach Jesus and are interested in following him. And Jesus' response to them eventually in John 12 really kind of echoes what Pope Benedict XVI was getting at in his wonderful encyclical Deus Caritas Est. You may remember from the early movements of our journey to Jerusalem that the Holy Father said that being Christian is not the result of an ethical choice or a lofty idea, but the encounter with a person, with an event. Pope Benedict actually continued, he said, there is certainly a relationship between love and God, a reality far greater and totally other than our everyday existence. Yet we have also seen that the way to attain this goal is not simply by submitting to instinct. Purification and growth in maturity are called for, and these also pass through the path of renunciation. That's Deus Caritas Est number 5. The Holy Father continues, love is not in the sense of a moment of intoxication, but rather as a journey, an ongoing exodus out of the closed, inward-looking self toward liberation through self-giving, and thus towards authentic self-discovery and indeed the discovery of God. Thus, whoever seeks to gain his life will lose it, and whoever loses his life will preserve it. As Jesus says throughout the Gospels, in these words, Jesus portrays his own path, which leads through the cross to the resurrection, the path of a grain of wheat that falls to the ground and dies, and in this way bears much fruit. Starting from the depths of his own sacrifice of love that reaches fulfillment therein, he also portrays in these words the essence of love and indeed human life itself. Deus Caritas Est number 6. If love, real love, is a response to the love of God has for us, then inevitably our response awaits surrender. Surrender is what the Holy Father's talking about when he says that we are called to an ongoing exodus out of closed inward thinking. You and I can live our lives only looking at ourselves as if we're caught in an inward gaze. And surrender is when we're pulled out of looking at ourselves so that all of our life, all of your life, is about God. Thus, Jesus surrendered long before he marched on the palms. Jesus surrendered his life long before he gave himself on the cross. Jesus had surrendered his life to God at the very moment of his conception. What about you? Have you surrendered your whole life? Have you surrendered your marriage? Have you surrendered your family? Have you surrendered your future, your finances, your dreams? Have you surrendered your control and your sin? Have you surrendered, or are you still caught in the inward-looking gaze at yourself? My friends, if we're going to walk into the deep recesses of Holy Week, and if we're going to make it to the cross, you and I have to surrender. Or what will happen is we'll try to preserve our life and we'll run from the eventual consequences to what Jesus is calling us to. Have you surrendered? I would encourage you to pray with John chapter 12, verses 20 to 26, and be with Jesus as he speaks of love and of surrender. And what stirs within you as he talks about this kind of surrender? For your prayer, I would encourage you to pray with John chapter 12, 20 to 26. Be with Jesus as he speaks of love and as he speaks of surrender. And if Jesus talks about not trying to preserve our life, but actually surrender our lives, where is he calling you to surrender? How is he calling you to surrender? Who is he calling you to surrender? And as you pray with the scriptures, pray this prayer with me. Jesus, I long to love you more than anything else. I beg for the grace to surrender my entire life to you and to love. God bless you.
To listen to today's reflection again, or to order a copy of the Journey to Jerusalem booklet with the daily readings, the website is www.priestlyformation.org. Join Father Mark Toups during this Lenten season as he helps us walk with Jesus on his journey to Jerusalem.